In Season 15 of Discovery Channel's Gold, Rush miner Rick Nes confronts one of the biggest challenges of his career, one that could jeopardize his hard-fought comeback and lifelong dream of owning his own claim against significant odds. He made impressive progress hitting his mining targets and making critical payments toward the Duncan Creek claim. With a new season came even bigger goals. In Season 15, Rick Nes set his sights on mining 1,500 ounces of gold, a loft target that would push him and his team to their limits. What made this season particularly significant, however, was his proximity to fulfilling a lifelong dream, becoming a landowner. Rick had worked tirelessly to bring together a skilled and loyal crew, including his longtime partner Brian Zira, and invested heavily in cutting-edge equipment like a brand-new 750 excavator. These moves were calculated to maximize efficiency and secure the financial future of his operation. Everything seemed to be falling into place. Rick's primary objective this season was to make the final payment on the Duncan Creek claim. Over the past 2 years, he had already contributed 450 ounces of gold toward the purchase. Now he was just one payment of 350 ounces away from owning the land outright, a milestone that would mark a turning point in his mining career and potentially deliver massive financial rewards. But during a critical meeting with Duncan Creek's landowner, Troy Taylor, Rick was blindsided by devastating news. The water license required to mine the claim had not yet been approved. Troy explained that despite years of work to secure the license, progress had stalled. Without the license, Rick's mining operations would be legally and practically impossible. This unforeseen development put Rick in a precarious position, with millions of dollars already invested in equipment, infrastructure, and manpower. The inability to mine would result in catastrophic losses. Worse still, it threatened to derail the remarkable progress he had made since his return to mining. The water license issue highlights the harsh realities of the mining industry's success in placer mining often depends not only on skill, hard work, and resources, but also on navigating complex regulatory and environmental hurdles. For Rick, who had poured years of effort and significant personal investment into this dream, the news was a crushing blow. As Rick weighed his options, the stakes couldn't be higher. Without the license, continuing his operations would be impossible, yet abandoning the claim would mean losing everything he had already invested, including his down payments toward land ownership. It's a lose-lose scenario that forces Rick to confront the fragility of his ambitions and the inherent risks of the mining world. Rick Nes now faces one of the toughest decisions of his mining career. Should he gamble on the possibility of the water license being approved in the future and make the final payment, or should he cut his losses and walk away, salvaging what little he can from the situation? As Season 15 unfolds, Rick's resilience and determination will undoubtedly be tested, whether he finds a way forward or suffers a crushing defeat. One thing is certain: this season will be a defining moment in Rick Nes's mining legacy. 2 years ago, Rick had struck a deal with claim owner Troy Taylor to buy the land. The agreement required a hefty down payment of 400 ounces of gold, followed by a final payment of 250. With just one payment left, Rick could almost taste the freedom and opportunity that owning the claim would bring. With one more payment comes a whole lot of freedom, and I'm excited about it, Rick said confidently. The shocking news: Rick's optimism took a sharp turn during a routine meeting with Troy to finalize the last details of the payment. As they discussed progress, Troy dropped a bombshell that left Rick reeling. The water license needed to continue mining operations next season was in jeopardy. Despite 2 years of effort to secure the permit, progress had stalled. "We've got a big problem with the water license being approved for next season," Troy explained. This revelation hit Rick like a ton of bricks. Without the water license, mining operations would come to a standstill, rendering the claim and Rick's multi-million-dollar investment in it worthless. But we're getting it right?" Rick asked, visibly shaken. "I thought so," Troy replied. but progress has stopped the way it's going now. I can't guarantee we'll have the license next year, and with no easy solution, Rick's dreams of owning Duncan Creek now hung in the balance. The weight of the situation over the past 2 years Rick had poured his heart, soul, and finances into this project. I've got millions of dollars invested in this. I've put over a quarter of my lifetime into this project. Walking away with nothing, it's not looking good. Rick lamented. The uncertainty around the water license presented a gut-wrenching dilemma. Should Rick proceed with the final payment, knowing the future of the claim was uncertain, or should he cut his losses and walk away, forfeiting everything he'd already invested? If you can't mine it, can't sell it, and can't live on it, what am I even paying for? Rick asked in frustration. Why wouldn't I just take what's left of the water license, get what I can, and leave at the end of the year without paying the final installment? Troy, while sympathetic, was firm in his response. If you walk away now, you lose everything. There's no refund, nothing, he explained, a future hanging by a thread. For Rick, the situation feels like a lose scenario. If he walks away, he forfeits all the work and money he's invested. If he stays, he risks sinking even more resources into a claim that may not be operable without the water license. It looks like I'm losing either way here, Rick said. I just didn't see this coming. My entire future is hanging in the balance, and I don't know what to do. Rick's frustration is palpable after years of overcoming obstacles and setbacks. He feels as though every step forward is met with 2 steps back. Every time I think I'm a step ahead, it feels like I'm 2 steps back. I've had enough. I don't even know what to say anymore. Troy, meanwhile, expressed his hope that Rick can find a way forward. I want Rick to succeed, but if he bails now, it's over, Troy said, underscoring the gravity of the decision Rick faces this season. He's clearly struggling with a lot. A crew member observes their concern, palpable personally and otherwise. I know he's got more on his plate this year. Rick's stress is evident to those around him. One evening, a crew member stops by to check in. You missed dinner the last couple of nights, just making sure everything's okay, they say, gently, hoping to lift some of the weight off his shoulders. Rick pauses before opening up, his voice tinged with exhaustion and frustration. I've been talking with Troy. He begins, referring to the landowner of Duncan Creek. It's looking like they may not approve our water license for next year. That really hit me hard. I feel bad. I'm not out here with you guys, but it's just dragging me down. This is everything I've invested in, not just this place, but my entire business. His words hang heavy in the air, a stark reminder of the immense pressure he's under. This was supposed to be the last year paying this off. Rick continues, the weight of disappointment evident in his tone. I was planning to set myself up for whatever I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Hearing this, another crew member offers a mix of empathy and realism. I know you didn't come up here for a quick grab. This was always a long-term thing. But if this ship is sinking, why throw any more money at it? It's not fun to think about, but unfortunately, it's sitting right there in front of you. Rick nods, taking in their words as he reflects on the gravity of his situation. This might be the last year mining, he admits, his voice barely above a whisper. I don't know if I've got it in me financially or emotionally. I've got decisions to make. The crew, aware of how much this dream means to him, rallies around their leader. We've got your back, one reassures him. Whatever you need, we're here. Rick manages a faint smile. I appreciate it. I'll get back down there, he says, trying to summon the strength to carry on. Yet despite the crew's unwavering support, the uncertainty over the water license weighs heavily on everyone. The thought of potentially losing years of effort and investment looms large, casting a shadow over their once hopeful plans. I don't know what he's going to do, a crew member later confides. Hopefully we see him tomorrow down there in the cut. The teen waits unsure of what the next day will bring. Rick's dream and their collective effort hangs in the balance as the harsh realities of the mining industry take.